Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking this time out to listen. Today, I titled this message, The Black Widow Type. The Black Widow Type. And for some of you all, this message might just get under your skin because you have some folks around you who unfortunately like to play games with the opposite sex. And we're not talking about just any games. These are men as well as women, but we will be focusing on the men today in this message. And simply because there are those men that go undetected. Now, some of you all have already come across these player types, if you will. They are known as womanizers. Some of you all have deemed them as narcissists. And then some of you who have been out in the street, so to speak, you have come across them. They are psychopaths, they're pimps, they're hustlers, and they really don't care too much about you or anybody else. It's all about me, and me some more, okay? The Black Widow type, though, he is usually found in all of these types, okay? The womanizer, the psychopath, the sociopath, even if he's a little on the bipolar side. He has this thing about seducing women, and it's a habit for him. Okay, now he may have one at home, one who he has had children with, and he may also have a couple others that he considers really good friends. Okay, but the truth of the matter is that this man, he just doesn't love anyone. He loves what he can get from women, what he can even get from girls, because some of them will go that far, okay? But I heard in the spirit in the morning one day that there's the Black Widow type, and he is the type that he's very similar to the Black Widow spider, okay? He has a bite, and that bite that he has is the kind of bite that affects a woman's mindset and can even affect her body, okay? Now, those of you all who are familiar with the Black Widow spider, you know that there is a protein venom that she produces, and it affects the victim's nervous system. Okay. And there are those that get bit by the Black Widow spider that will have all sorts of, shall we say, skin issues. Okay. And these skin issues are red, and they produce all sorts of things up underneath the skin. And that feeling that people get as a result of a Black Widow bite, it's not just a feeling. There's actually quite a few symptoms, but there's abdominal pain, there's nausea, there's vomiting, there's fainting, there's dizziness, there's chest pain, there's weakness and tremor. Okay, and this is all from the Black Widow spider. This is also produced by the brown recluse spider. Okay. Lots of ugly stuff happens when one gets bit by the Black Widow spider. Now, some of you all may be familiar with the myth, which there is some truth to the myth, as far as the Black Widow spider. After mating, she will begin to eat her mate, or prior to copulation, she will eat her mate. Okay? Now, when the Holy One showed me in the spirit about this Black Widow type of male, okay, what he showed me was that this is an individual who seduces his partners, okay? He's not really in love with them, okay? He might like them, because you got to like them in order to seduce them. But his intent is to get something from them, whatever he feels he can get. So if in the meantime he needs a companion, that's what he's going to get. If he wants to live in the woman's home, that's what he's going to get. If he wants to use her to finance, vacations, to pay his bills. That's what he does. Okay. But the danger of this man who is this womanizer, narcissist type and all of that is the fact that with the Black Widow type, he takes it a bit further. His actions actually cause all sorts of problems. It's like the Black Widow bite. The woman experiences abdominal pain. She experienced nausea, vomiting, fainting, dizziness, chest pain, weakness, and tremor. Now, mind you now, this is what I received from the Holy One. Okay. Some of you all who have been in relationships with a person like this, you know what I'm talking about. This isn't made up. This is real. The body's system, the nervous system, is constantly on edge. She thinks that it's her job. She thinks that it's the children. She thinks that it's other people. She thinks that it may be even recent issues that have taken place, like the death of a family member. Everything that she's experiencing, she attributes it to something else. Okay. But she doesn't look at the one who she is living with. She doesn't look at the one who she's dating. She doesn't look at the one who she's married to or having sex with. Okay. No, it can't be him. I've got a lot of pressure. I've got a lot of upset. But the Lord showed me that just as the Black Widow spider, okay, seduces, if you will, connects with, okay, copulates with, has her target. This is what the Black Widow type male does. And then, unfortunately, some things take place. Some things that male spider, the victim, doesn't anticipate. That woman victim of the Black Widow type of male doesn't anticipate. I thought we were in a relationship. I thought we were connecting to produce offspring. I thought that we were going to help one another. But instead, she's being eaten. Okay? She's being eaten by this Black Widow type of male who comes into her life, who we will label as the womanizer, the narcissist, and the rest. The pimp, player, hustler. But he has intentions that in the beginning, they seem legit. They seem okay. He even believes that his intentions are well-meaning. But there's a dark side. As black as the Black Widow is, that's as dark as the man is who comes into this person's life. He has a dark side. And his dark side produces those symptoms that I mentioned earlier. The nausea, the vomiting, the fainting, the dizziness, the chest pain, the weakness, the tremor. Oh, I thought I was pregnant. Then you found out you're not pregnant. So why do I feel this way? You go to the doctor. The doctor says, oh, well, maybe it was something that you ate. Maybe it was, being upset as a result of your job or what have you. But then things calm down, but yet you're still upset. You still got some things going on with you. Those women who are very conscious of themselves will eventually put two and two together and realize that all of these symptoms they keep experiencing is due to this individual who they are involved with. Okay. And it's not a happy feeling, of course. I mean, how can you be happy when you keep going through much as a result of being bitten, if you will, by this Black Widow type of male? How can you walk around and be at peace when you know that this person is constantly putting some type of pressure on you, whether he's doing it with a smile on his face, whether he's doing it during lovemaking, or whether he's doing it while you're shopping? There is something about him that does not, connect with you. There's something about him that that this is not a good mate. He may have been okay as far as producing children with, but now that the children are gone, for some of you all, this man has issues, lots of them. And just as the Black Widow spider eats away at her mate. Mind you, this is torturous. Okay? This is what is going on in many of these relationships with these types of people. They slowly eat away at you mentally and physically. And before long, you are finding yourself in the hospital somewhere, thinking about all of the stuff that led up to your hospital visit. And of course, the Black Widow type is going to tell everybody that, oh no, she was going through this, or she, has some things about her that's a little quirky because, well, this happened in her life. He's not going to let on that he is mainly the reason as to why she is slowly but surely breaking down mentally, physically, and spiritually. Some of these women are battling with cancer. Okay. And those on the outside looking in think that the support system around them is okay. It's healthy. She's doing better. Meanwhile, it's her prayers. It's God. It's the medicines that's helping her. But the man that is eating away at her is not doing anything more than sending her to her grave faster. That's the reality. That's the truth. That's what that man doesn't want you to know about, the Black Widow type. He doesn't want you to know that when he gets with women, he slowly but surely, mentally, physically, and spiritually breaks them down. He may know this about himself. He may know this. Another one bites the dust. I done broke her down. Gotta find me another one. And for some of these men, they know the signs that their victim is messed up and that they're the cause of it, because they'll see when she is very nervous. Okay, because he shook her up one day, whether it was verbally or whether it was physically. He knows when she's starting to lose it because she's going through his things like all the other ones did. And he knows that he's playing on her. He's back to womanizing. He's back to doing some sneaky stuff. And it's causing some upset in the household. He knows that he's not very warm and friendly. He's not talking much to her. Or when he does talk, he's very mean and critical and nasty. The Black Widow type, if he really is conscious of himself, he knows what he does. But rather than get some help for all of his issues, he rather just find another victim to slowly but surely eat away at. Okay. Now, mind you, this information didn't come from some book. I will tell you that many of the audios that I put together, they don't come from books that I read. Okay, contrary to what some may think, a lot of this is information that the Lord downloads while I'm sleeping, and I wake up and then I receive a word from him during some part of the day. Okay. So I'm letting you know this because some of you all, especially those who are seeing your daughters, your nieces, your cousins, okay, your sisters, slowly but surely, prematurely aging or gaining huge amounts of weight or being sickly often. Sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with the recent death of a relative or the sickness that took place as a result of food poisoning or something. I mean, that's not going to last all month, in some cases with folk. Okay. Or even all year. Come on now. Some people make up a lot of excuses. They tell little lies when they know that the issue is that they're living with a Black Widow mate. The issue is that Black Widow mate is slowly but surely eating away at them mentally, physically, and spiritually. And the children can attest to it, because if you sit down and you talk with a child, they'll say, well, there were some things that took place and mom was going through much because dad said this and dad did this. Okay. So as much as that man who looks healthy and he looks handsome and he has a great way of talking to individuals, covering up what's really going on, the truth of the matter is that in a lot of these cases, the Black Widow type is the culprit. And folks need to pay close attention to that and stop paying attention to how nicely dressed the man looks and the way he smells and all of these other silly little things. Okay? Black widow types are real. Black widow types are used by Satan. Black widow types kill, steal, and destroy. And if you know someone who is going through much, pray for them. Okay? Open up their eyes a bit. Tell them some stories. Share your testimony. But whatever you do, don't be blind. These men are real. And God is going to deal with them sooner or later for the lies that they tell, for the little sugarcoating that they do, for the blame games that they play, for the minimizing that they do with the storytelling and so forth, and for the denying. A lot of times in these situations, the fathers are just like the sons. They're black widow types. Their fathers were just like them. Grandfathers, if you will, and great-grandfathers. This is a generational thing in a lot of families. If you saw a pattern, or if you heard about a pattern of pimps, players, and hustlers, womanizers, seducers, okay, psychopaths and narcissists, chances are that that person is just like his forefathers. So we break generational curses, and if the curses are not being broken, we get out of Dodge. We leave, we move, we do what we can. I thank you so much for listening. Those of you all who are those black widow types, you can change if you want to. You can get the necessary help if you want to. You can pray and you can ask the Father to change your wicked ways if you want to. I thank you so much for listening, and to God be the glory.